Hello there, you're tuning on Yes Whut. I'm your Yes Stylist host, Zoe.
Hi everyone, I'm Mandy, and I do marketing content for Yes Style, especially in beauty.
So Mandy, you're like a regular guest on my podcast already.
Well, thanks for always inviting.
Have you noticed anything different about set?
Yes, the setup is really pretty today, and I see there's a whiteboard and a marker. What are we gonna do?
So there's a hint. Previously, we played this or that with skincare tools, but there was nothing to look at. I mean, it was a pure talk. Today, we're playing another game. Do you want to have a guess?
See, there's a lot of paper here, so something with skincare ingredients.
How did you even guess that? How did you even guess that? I don't know how.
Well.
Yes, so we are playing a game of somewhat like this or that, but it's basically you're rating skincare ingredients, whether they're overhyped or underrated.
Okay.
So I prepared 6 ingredients in the bowl in front of us here. It looks small. It looks very minimal because there's only 6. And then, so as soon as we open one, we read it out loud, and then we each grab our own little whiteboard, and then we'll write on it whether we think it's overhyped or underrated.
All right.
So if you're ready,
Definitely ready.
Yeah. Do you wanna start?
Okay.
I hope you can't see it. I'm like, can I see what I wrote in there?
Ginseng.
Oh, is it ginseng or ginseng? I still don't know.
Ginseng? Ginseng? What do you guys say?
Apparently Korean is ginseng.
Ginseng.
Yeah, so that's the Korean term for it.
Oh.
So I don't know, maybe just say whatever you want. Ginseng, ginseng. So, okay, now we've read it. Ginseng, ginseng, it's here. It's time to write it.
Okay.
We just leave this out here. Whenever you're ready, we can count to 3. And
I peeked at your answer.
Oh, okay, we're ready. We count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Underrated.
Overhyped. Oh my God, you gave it a heart.
Yeah.
Okay, please tell me why.
Well,
enlighten me.
For me at this age, I'm really big on anti-aging. So for me, I do like the smell as well. I know it's not for everyone.
It has a very herbally,
medicinal.
You at that age.
Yeah, I'm really at that age.
It's okay, we're around the same age. I don't know why we're talking about. Why we're talking as if you're a lot older. No, we're the same age. So, okay, so why do you think it's underrated? Because I personally don't agree. Like, what are your experience of the ingredient that makes you think it's underrated?
Well, I use it in my toner as well as serum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it really, like, do you like it?
I definitely feel like it's potent, and I do feel like I have less fine lines, but it could be just in my head. I'm not sure. Yeah.
So what are the effects of ginseng, like in your ginseng toner and ginseng serum?
It's a bit like anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it helps with my redness a little bit.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It does have that effect.
Because I'm really easily flushed, so it helps calm my skin a little bit. And definitely, I do fear fine lines a little bit at this age. Yeah. Have
you noticed any significant improvements after you use these products? Like any significant improvements on fine lines? I mean, I don't see much, so maybe it's working.
Too nice. The foundation is good.
Okay. So, what other things about ginseng? It's okay. So personally, I find it overhyped. I mean, to some people, they think it's underrated. I mean, like you, but because it's kind of not as common in Western skincare.
Exactly.
It's mainly like here and there in Korean skincare. It's not even that common in other Asian skincare, I feel.
True.
But I do think it's overhyped in the K-beauty industry because, it's been around a long time. Yeah. The ingredient itself, it's like a traditional herbal ingredient from, as long as the ancient times. Yeah. And people kind of always made it as people kind of labeled it as like a superfood, like an OG superfood. And I think when you label something as a superfood, I mean, obviously it has its health benefits, but I feel like when you label it as that multifunctional. I don't personally think all of its claims are like going to be like effective.
That's fair.
So personally, I've only tried a handful of ginseng stuff, but like nothing really wowed me. I don't mind the scent as much, but I just feel like maybe, because again with anti-aging, it takes a long time to actually see effects. But I have tried stuff that showed me quicker effects. So when I compare it, I do think ginseng, you know, saying it's an anti-aging ingredient, it's a bit overhyped.
That's fair.
You think so?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you.
But for me, because it's not as popular in Western culture, I feel like they could give it a try and see for themselves as well.
That's true too. Because I mean, if it's like a traditional ingredient, there is its pros and cons. So, okay, good talk. Okay, I'm gonna pick out the next one.
Okay.
It's snail mucin.
I say mucin? Mucin? No, I'm
because I think of
confused too.
mucus,
Yeah.
but that's gross. So I don't know. We can call it mucin, mucin. You can say it whichever. So okay, now we can write our thoughts.
Okay.
I always run out of space.
It's okay.
I'm not joking. Like every time I write this, it's off. Can I do it again? I always run out of space. It's terrible. Oh my god. I mean, I already know, but but yeah. There we go.
Oh wow.
Okay. Okay. We count to 3 and we review.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Underrated.
Overhyped. In a row.
Oh wow. So why is it overhyped for you?
Why is it overhyped for me? Well, first, you know, like I've tried a few things that contains this ingredient. It's, you know, when they say it, when they say it with snail mucin, it's like, oh, it's incredibly soothing, it's incredibly hydrating, it also helps to stimulate collagen production, like all that. It sounds like a miracle cure-all, but like when I tried it, I was really underwhelmed. I'm just like, like, but I mean, I can vouch for its hydrating and skin-soothing ingredients, and it is really refreshing on skin. So what did I try? I tried like a face cream, also tried like an eye cream.
Oh.
Should I mention the brand? I don't know if I should, but I could put it up here. But I'm saying if they're not bad, they're not bad. It's just I was a bit underwhelmed because every time I read about snail mucin or snail mucin, it's always saying it's like it helps to like repair damaged cells, which is why it gives it that anti-aging effect. It helps to like improve skin turnover, so you have like new skin. But when I tried it, I didn't really notice any specific like anti-aging effects.
Oh, how long did you use it?
I used the whole tub like for the face cream, and I used the whole thing for the eye cream.
Okay.
I almost wanted to repurchase it. I'm like, maybe I need to try 3 tubs for it to work. But maybe it wasn't the right. I think it just wasn't the right ingredient for me because, for example, I think it works for people with skin that are extra sensitive. It is very soothing. It is very like hydrating.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's too watery for me. Like, because basically what snail mucin, like this extract from snails itself is mainly made up of water. So like, it makes sense that hydrating ingredients helps to like, help to plump up skin. But I feel like it wasn't the right, it wasn't enough for me. So this is just my personal opinion why I find it overhyped, because everywhere I read about it, they say, oh my God, it's like this amazing anti-aging ingredient. But I didn't really particularly saw any significant like improvements.
Yeah, especially if you use up the entire tube and then it didn't work for you, then probably not.
Yeah, I'm sure there are better ones. Like, I'm sure maybe it's just the 1 or 2 I tried. Maybe it wasn't the right formula for me.
It could be the brand itself, or like the formula.
But they were like bestsellers, so I was like, oh my God, everybody loves it. But so I'm thinking maybe it's not for my skin type.
That's fair. But we have the same skin type, right?
Are you
sensitive combination?
Oh no, I'm more dry. But I mean, my skin was dry, so like it was hydrating for my skin, but it wasn't really firming.
Okay, that's fair.
So I feel like that's what I think maybe I was looking at the wrong ingredient because I wanted to have like a firming effect. So why do you find it underrated?
Maybe like you mentioned, I do have more sensitive skin. And most of all, it's kind of like the last ingredient. I like more ingredients with anti-aging effects. So I was reading up upon it, and then it seems like, it helps with boosting collagen, and then helps to firm, but apparently not.
Well,
And hydrating as well.
It's debatable because I feel like it's personal experience.
True.
Because like maybe it's just I didn't pick up the right formula. Because sometimes like, you know, it depends on, you know, I feel like with most ingredients, they don't just work on itself.
Yeah.
You need like other similar ingredients with like similar effects to kind of like synergize it.
True.
Yeah.
Is it okay to ask the audience a question?
Yeah. I mean, you can ask. I don't know if they reply.
But what about for you guys? Like, have you guys tried the ingredient, and what were the effects for you personally? Because
that's true.
yeah,
like everybody tells me it's great, and I'm like, maybe it's just me.
No. Now I'm curious.
Okay, cool. Do you want to pick out the next one?
Okay.
Actually, let me wipe this. Hopefully, it's not another overhyped in a row.
Oh no, I really need to.
My leg hurts. I'm gonna sit like this for a while. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Okay. I'll pick this one.
Oh, let's see.
I'm excited, nervous. Glycerin.
Ah,
Interesting.
Glycerin.
I want to know what you're gonna say. Is it gonna be another overhyped?
Oh my God, you are. Can I spell? Am I spelling it right away? Can I spell underrated? This is embarrassing. I'm an editor. I should be able to spell.
With computers, they do everything.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Underrated.
Underrated. Wow.
Finally, we agree on something. What do you know about glycerin?
Well, first of all, it's a humectant. So it helps to draw moisture from underneath the skin to the surface, and also from the air. And for me personally, it's really helped with smoothing my skin and also hydrating especially. I do have like drier skin by my T-zone area, and it's basically in a lot of products that I use.
Oh, that's so true. Because I realized with glycerin, it's such an underrated ingredient because nobody really talk about it.
Yeah.
Like you don't really market something like a glycerin moisturizer.
Exactly.
It just doesn't sound very glamorous. It doesn't sound very cool.
But it's always in the top ingredient.
Yeah. So it's always the majority. It's always underwater or like something like that. So the majority is always water and then it's glycerin. So to be honest, I've heard about glycerin all the time, but I've never really looked into it.
Yeah.
And what is it? I realize it's such a moisture binding ingredient. So it mostly promotes long-lasting hydration, which is why it's such a great ingredient. It's always used in moisturizers.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else. Have you tried any like what are your recent favorite products that you've tried have glycerin? I mean, is it just all the moisturizers?
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
I see. So I feel like, you know, most moisturizers, you know, whenever you find like, I think with most like products that I saw used, like, you know, they market as this other ingredient, but that ingredient usually is like a few percentage of the actual formula itself.
Yeah.
Whereas glycerin and water will take up the majority.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's so underrated because it just nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
But recently, I've been like reviewing a cleanser from Fermented.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of our newer brands. So because I was reviewing it and I was like, so I tried this oil cleanser from them and I also tried this cleansing foam. I usually can't use the cleansing foams because like, you know how it leaves your skin feeling a bit dry and tight. I hate that feeling. So I was like, I'm gonna have a go at it and see if it changes it really did change my mind. Because like, you know, it was one of those very few cleansing foams that didn't leave my skin feeling tight at all. Oh, wow. Like it was really soft and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And I looked at it, it was mostly glycerin. Oh. And I'm like, wow.
So it does do wonders.
Yeah, I have to put it up on a video. People have to buy this stuff. I'm not joking, it's really working.
It really does work for me as well, so.
So especially if you have like dry skin, definitely helps. But I feel like even if you don't have dry skin, everybody needs that hydration in skin.
Exactly.
So like, it's such an essential ingredient. It just doesn't get praised enough. We should all talk about a glycerin like from now on. Like, you know, if we mention a great ingredient, we're not hungry. Mention the, so if we are talking about serum, if the serum say it's like, you know, if it was like a centella serum, but it has mostly glycerin, then why aren't we calling it glycerin serum?
Right? You guys should actually check your products at home. It's usually like number 2.
It's usually the top, yeah, definitely. I've only realized recently after, oh my God, glycerin is everywhere. Okay, we can do the next one. Oh, you wanna wipe it?
Okay.
let's go with this one. Fermented extracts. Okay, let me write.
Me too. I think I don't even need to erase my whiteboard from now on.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Do you already know what we're talking about? Oh, I always ran out of space. Okay. I don't know what's that. Sorry. I'm always kind of drawing weird shapes on my board.
It's cute.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Again, we're agreeing on another one. That's good. That's good to know. So,
it's interesting that you brought this one up because I've been using it every day this week. Yep.
This week?
This week.
It's very recent.
Every day recently.
So what is this magical product you're using?
Well, it's really helped to brighten my skin, to hydrate.
Brighten it.
Yeah,
and to hydrate.
brightening.
Perfect for this weather. It's really cold lately. Look at us. I've never worn this much clothes on set.
I'm starting to sweat here.
Oh my god. So what is this magical product?
Yeah, for me, like
it's a sheet mask.
Yeah, it's a sheet mask.
Ah.
It's actually a Japanese sheet mask.
I can put the product up here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think ideally most people use it every day, but I have used it every night.
And sheet masking every night.
I've been sheet masking every night. This is what the situation is doing to me.
Very dedicated.
It's
also really cold. Oh my god.
But just leave it on for like a short 5 to 10 minutes before I sleep.
So what kind of like effects have you noticed?
Definitely brighter skin tone. Smoother forehead area especially. Just more plump in general. Well, more hydrated for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
So basically, from my knowledge of, what fermented ingredient was this? Do you remember from your sheet mask? What?
It was soybean.
Soybean. Ah, that's nice. Okay, so from my knowledge of fermented extracts, usually people use fermented yeast, fermented mushrooms, all sort of weird stuff. It sounds really weird on paper. But apparently what I read was that with the fermentation process, it increases like the amino acids in the ingredients, and it also makes the ingredient a lot more concentrated and easier to absorb into skin. So, which is why it does sound really gross when you hear like fermented yeast toner. Like that's why they don't call it fermented whatever toner. They usually name it like with its chemical name, or they give it like something like a fancy quirky name. So like. But actually, if you looked at a lot of Korean beauty skincare, they have like ingredients like galactomyces, bifidobacter, and then probiotics. These are all fermented ingredients, and like essentially they all work the same. I realize, what you mentioned, they give your skin that smooth plumpness. Also, like apparently, also with amino acids, it helps to repair broken skin barriers. So, which is why I really, really love this ingredient. Like personally, I've tried a lot of things with it. Like I just live by anything fermented now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so basically like a few years ago I had this massive skin breakout. I mentioned it everywhere because it was really bad. Like my skin was really broken. It was like constantly red. It was like dry patches everywhere. I had an eczema breakout completely all over my face. So like when I was recovering from it, I've adapted to use this like galactomyces starting treatment essence. So galactomyces is like a fermented type of mushroom, type of fungi. And after incorporating it, like even in just like 2 weeks, like I was using it both morning and night. Yeah, like my skin was a lot more like healthy. I can really see and feel the differences, which is why I completely converted into like a believer of anything fermented.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I've definitely had it too, especially with the change of weather. Yeah, so
it's really good, and I just do find it really underrated.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish people know more about it. Wait. Yeah, and another thing I noticed with like fermented extracts is that whenever they incorporate in skincare ingredients, like especially in a moisturizer or like a serum, you notice that it's not as greasy or sticky. Yeah. Like in comparison to any other moisturizing ingredient.
That is true.
So I feel like maybe it's just one of the side effects. One of the side sort of effects of having this, like having anything fermented, because it gives you that kind of smooth finish and that like non-sticky texture.
I totally agree with you. That's how I felt after the sheet mask too. It wasn't sticky at all.
That's amazing because like I'm so scared of sheet mask because every time I finish using a sheet mask, I'll get the sticky. I don't like that feeling. So if you don't get it, I'm gonna have to start using it.
Yes, definitely recommend this one.
Cool. Should we move on to the next one?
Okay.
Is it your turn? Your turn.
Okay. Okay, I'll go for this one. Do you want to take a guess what it could be?
Well, there's only two left. It's either going to be hyaluronic acid or ceramide. So let's go for hyaluronic acid.
You're totally right.
I mean, there's only two left. Let me write this down, man. I need to write this down.
Oh no, am I right?
I still don't know how to write on a whiteboard. Oh, I can't spell. Oh my god, can I have the thing to clean it with? I can't spell.
It's totally fine.
Oh my god, you're so quick. Okay, also because I couldn't spell. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Overhyped.
Underrated.
What? Oh!
Oh no!
I'm so shocked. Okay, let me tell you why.
Okay.
I find it's overhyped. Well, don't get me wrong. Hyaluronic acid is a good ingredient. It's a hydrating ingredient.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But it's the way people market it as this like crazy hydrating ingredient. It kind of bothers me.
That's fair, because it does have a lot of benefits. Like,
I guess so.
That's marketed to be.
Yeah, but I feel like all the time, when they market something that's with hyaluronic acid, they always mention that it's like long-lasting hydration. It helps to like improve your moisture barriers, so you can like the skin holds up moisture better.
exactly.
Like stuff like that. And the thing is that when you have one product that just says hyaluronic acid, it's just one effect. So I feel like, I mean, like if I have to compare it to another hydrating ingredients like glycerin, it's not the same. I feel like hyaluronic is not as long lasting. This is my personal thought though. So again, I do find that, people always say that hyaluronic acid always hold up like more water than its molecular weight.
It's supposed to be like 1,000.
It's so crazy.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means, but like how does that work? But I find that like most of the time, like I don't want to give the full credit to hyaluronic acid in the stuff in the ingredients I enjoyed, like especially with products that contains it. Like the stuff that I find are effective. They don't. It isn't just the hyaluronic acid in it that makes it hydrating. It's a lot of other hydrating ingredients that makes it work, like synergizes with it.
That is a good point.
Yeah. So I feel like for me, it's just overhyped because people always market it as something like, wow, it's like super hydrating. It's like it works for everything. But like really, I feel like it owes its credit to a lot of other hydrating ingredients, especially in the products that I love. But this is my personal experience. Feel free to change my mind.
I do understand why you say it's overhyped. For me, yes, you're right. So I would definitely use it with other ingredients because for me, it's supposed to help boost the moisture from the other ingredients that you combine it with. And it's supposed to bind up to 1,000 times its water weight. So for example, I don't know what other ingredient.
That's hydrating?
Yeah.
Like
okay, for example, okay, so I have combination skin. So if I use BHA, it can be a bit drying. So if I use it with a hyaluronic acid, it balances out for me.
So you kind of use it as a way to counterbalance anything that would be drying on your skin.
Exactly.
And also you used it as a booster.
As a booster.
That's an interesting way to put it actually. Because I don't see it that way. Because like when I see one serum that says hyaluronic acid, I'm just like, I'm not sure about that.
That's true.
But if you use it as a booster, then you can like, I guess, do you mix serums or anything like that?
I would layer it.
Yeah. So I guess like it makes sense that you use it as a booster. So okay, great. I've also this is recently I read this from this random website. Apparently it was run by a doctor. I don't know how like credible it is. So basically he said that it's true that hyaluronic acid can hold up to like hundreds and thousands of its like molecular weight, but like you know, that effect is quickly dissipated once it's on skin. Like it is not as effective like if it's not injected directly into skin. This is what dermatologists say. So I was thinking maybe that's why people find it overhyped, because like, you know, from a dermatologist's point of view, she'd think that, you know, if it's not injected, then you're not directly like fixing any moisture barrier, you're just putting it on top. But I guess like, you know, people, you do need that service. Like,
I know what you mean by that. So I definitely say you should use an ingredient that will lock it in as well after, which could be one of the next ingredients we talk about.
Okay, so we have the last one left. Let's just open it.
Okay.
Ceramide.
Oh wow.
So there we go. Let's write this stuff.
All right.
I'm really doubting myself. I can't spell. I'm writing the same 2 words every time, and I'm like,
it's the double R that throws you off.
Yeah. So ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Underrated.
Underrated.
Ah, okay, at least we agree on another thing. So ceramide.
I do know it's an ingredient that you definitely like.
Oh, how do you know?
We've talked about this in the past before.
I think we did. I'm always talking about it.
More personally?
What about you?
Definitely for me, I like it because it's already naturally found in your body, so it's less sensitive.
And also it's easier to be absorbed to skin because it's already naturally in your skin. So like the human skin is made up of, I forgot how many percentage of.
I think 50%.
Yeah, so it's ceramides. But then as you age, like that level drops, which is why you start seeing dryness, wrinkles, everything horrible.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So ceramides, where do we begin? We both love it then. What about personal experiences?
Like you said earlier, with hyaluronic acid, it can not be as long lasting. So I think when combined with an ingredient like ceramide, it can definitely help lock in the moisture to prevent it from
drying up.
Drying
up your skin.
Especially in the winter, like with the wind. Yeah.
Especially with ceramide, like it's like a moisture retaining ingredient. It also helps to strengthen your skin barrier.
That's true.
Right? That's really important.
Yeah.
Because like when your skin's cold, it's dry, it's sensitive.
Exactly. It's getting so red recently. Yeah. And I do have a little bit of eczema as well. Eczema?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, it's very important that you fix that. Another thing that I mentioned is that, like, you know, it is underrated because it's not particularly prominent in the Western skincare, like kind of sphere, I feel. Like it's definitely more common in K-beauty, especially in the last couple of years. Like you can see like a whole, like brands like Holika, they have a whole line of like ceramide skincare. They like have like the full 10 steps, each step of a ceramide, like infused formula. I'm like, wow. And then you have a lot of things like that mixes up with ceramide for that boost. But like I have noticed that, like, you know, back in the days, like there's always been CeraVe in the West.
Oh yeah.
People love CeraVe. It's basically ceramide, but like because it's not a particularly glamorous product.
But it works so well.
Yeah.
It's
So another thing that I want to mention about Western skincare is that, like, you know, it wasn't until like cult beauty brands like Drunk Elephant, like they started, or Dr. Jart is Korean, like brands like these started promoting stuff like ceramide in their skincare lines, and then that's when, you know, I feel like it's getting a bit more exposure that it deserves because it's such a great ingredient.
That's true.
It should be buried under hyaluronic.
Oops. Oh, talking about when you said 10-step skincare routine.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, like, do you still do the 10-step now, or is it much shorter?
I don't do 10 steps.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never really dedicated to a 10-step, unless I did when I did a 7-step toner.
Oh yeah.
I did 7 toners, but I wouldn't do the full 10 steps because, like, first thing, I don't really like sheet masks.
Oh yeah, you said it's sticky, right?
Yeah, like I prefer clay masks, but that's a completely different sort of product. So for me, it's mostly like I'm mostly around 5 or 6 steps.
Okay, that's still a lot.
What about you?
Well, recently I've only dropped down to like a 3-step.
What?
Yeah.
It's cold, it's dry, why 3?
That's why I have the sheet mask every night.
Oh my god. Okay, to make up for the lack of steps. So yeah, so I guess we can both agree this is definitely an underrated
Yep.
ingredient. So if you have the right ingredients, so you're saying if you use the right ingredients, you can minimize your steps.
Exactly.
Cool, cool. So we've talked about all 6 ingredients now. Which one was your favorite out of all of them?
Favorite. I have a favorite too. So
2?
Okay, favorite one. Okay, hyaluronic acid. I would
Okay,
say.
what would the 2 be?
I would. Okay, let's just stick with this one.
Oh my god!
Ceramide. Yeah. Hyaluronic
hi.
acid.
Okay, I feel like you've put in your fair point. That's your favorite. My favorite would be ceramide.
Okay.
I mean, fermented extracts have a very special place in my heart.
That's fair, especially.
It's a top 2 actually. Oh god, we're so off topic. Okay, so actually, before I've actually asked you to bring in your favorite skincare recently.
Yeah.
Do you have it with you?
Yes, I do. Actually, it's in my pocket.
You're like Doraemon, just whipping it out from your pocket.
And it's blue too.
Oh my god! So what is this?
And well, it's the plant-based hyaluronic acid.
Jesus Christ! Hyaluronic acid, you really love it.
I really like it.
If you have a full serum on it.
Exactly.
The packaging is so nice.
It is really cute. You twist it open basically.
Oh, I love the mechanics of the dropper tool.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it has this nice pressy texture.
Exactly.
Usually you have to squeeze it. This one you just press it.
It makes it so much easier. Do you want to try a little bit?
Okay.
You're like, no, you hate it. Your hands look
It's very hyaluronic acid. It's very clear.
is.
Oh my god, it's very thick. It's
It
like
is really thick.
it's like putting on jelly.
So when you first put it on, it can feel a little bit sticky, so you might not like it.
What
but
does it remind me of?
it does dry up easily. What does it remind you of?
You know when people go for pregnancy checkups.
And you would know?
No, because my mom had my sister when I was a kid, and I'm like, I went to her, and I'm like, what is this jelly on your belly, mom? So, oh my god, okay. It is very hydrating. You can see this full-on dewy. It's very dewy.
It is.
Okay, wait for it to dry.
Yeah.
Now tell me.
Okay, so
why you love it?
definitely wouldn't use it on its own, because if you use it on its own, it'll draw moisture basically from underneath your skin and it'll make it more dry. So I'd use something more hydrating first and then lock it in with your favorite ingredient. Yeah.
Can I read it?
Yeah, of course.
Because like I've tried other serums.
Yeah.
Is it really a serum? Yeah, I've tried other serums from the plant-based. They have the ceramide one, and they have, I think, collagen one. And there's ones with my favorite, Bakuchiu. The pink one.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, oh wow, okay. I didn't expect you to bring this, but this is a bestseller. Okay, I thought something less common. I also believe it's a bestseller on Yes Whut. It's very convincing, you know.
It is. You use up all of it.
It's been a long time.
Oh wow.
It hasn't been that long. So this is what it is. It's a dark spot correcting glow serum from was it Axis Y?
Oh, I've never used this.
Never used it. So this is a bestseller, and apparently it's great for correcting like skin tones. So like if you have a lot of like acne scars or hyperpigmentation, it really helps to brighten it. So the main ingredient. So we haven't talked about this ingredient today, but it has mostly niacinamide, squalene, and whatever some sort of fruit. I wrote about this. I should remember it. But yeah, do you want to try?
Okay, I definitely do.
So this is really nice because it's very light and gel-like.
Oh, it is really light.
Yeah, it's a bit like this. Actually, this is not sticky as I thought. It's really nice. Your hyaluronic acid. Yeah.
Are you sold? Do you like the ingredient?
I'll use it as a booster. Okay, fine. But yeah, this is. I love the smell because you can smell a bit. It's very like light and herbal. So when I tried this, I was going through. I also had a lot of whiteheads and like random pimples from during the summertime when I had like a bit more oil production. So I used this to kind of like counter the oil balance. Okay. And also to like brighten up any like dark pigments.
Oh wow! How long did you use it for before you saw the
1 week?
1 week.
One week and a bit. Because I used it both morning and night. Okay. And I'm like, wow. So that's why I use it more. Because I stopped using it in winter. Because like my skin is a lot less oily now, so I didn't use it as much. But like this lasted me like a month in a bit.
Oh wow, that's fast.
Yeah, so I used it throughout summer, a few times in autumn. So yeah, this is a
Okay,
favorite.
that's definitely something I can look into.
Try it. If you have oily T-zones in summer,
yes, I definitely do.
give it a go.
Even in the winter, I'm getting blackheads right now.
Blackheads, it's normal. Though I feel like, but you have more dry. Do you have dry patches?
I started getting redness again when I took off my mask earlier. Yeah.
It's time for more sheet masks. Your fermented extracts.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's okay. Thank you for watching till the end. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
And remember to turn on your notification bell.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.